Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crusader King's 3 Nubia here on the Lord Master channel. Well, early on for this part of the episode, we're going to do more traveling around the Italian countryside and its surrounding regions across the Mediterranean, which includes going across the Fatima territory, then back up to this side of the Mediterranean, and then we go to on the coast of the Adriatic and the Croatian territories before we go to the sea again and head into Byzantium and pass through the Cilician Gates to make that promise to return to there one day before we go down to the Holy Land and back into Egypt and back home to Nobadian. So it's going to be 2 more years of travel approximately. So all I could say is hope you're ready, because data encourages stock of our travels to get more safety and all that. There's going to be plenty of danger for our travels out there, but I hope we can handle it. So we're leaving Firenze in Tuscany. So let us go now. It's all about the travel. As I get up early in the morning, I cannot help letting out a loud yawn. Stretching, I make my way out. I tend to see that people are already moving about. I notice Agatha is heading off what looks like a makeshift fishing rod through all the noise and the bustle of camp. "Where are you off to?" I ask her. She responds with a nonchalant shrug. "It's a nice day for fishing." "Get back on your horse, Agatha. I have places to see." "Yeah. Places to see, women to do, all that." Thieves' Hollow gives a tiny bit of martial lifestyle experience. Visited a Trajan Arch. More stewardship lifestyle experience. Codifani Conquesta Senar. I wouldn't go up against them, so I will respectfully decline. Plus, I'm far traveling, so I can't help you in a war unless I'm leading the troops myself, and I'm not over there, so therefore, not happening. Here in Spoleto, we stopped to rest one night at a tavern while I'm sitting in a corner peacefully listening to some Lombard music. The door barges open and a large silhouette appears. A knight swaggers in and the atmosphere immediately changes. People bow their heads in reverence. Some soon in a bar queue immediately pours the apparently famous knight free drinks. Is being a knight really so special here? I can be like that if I train. Plus 20 prowess for a year. So if I face any dangers, I'll handle it. We ain't got time for your petty squabbling, so travel be slow. The sun scorches the sand dunes of Terni. Terni, Italia? There's hills. What the hell? Yeah, this is a weird... It's supposed to apply to if you're in an oasis, but you ain't no oasis. You're in central Italy, my friend. And that's clearly Lombard talking. Perhaps that'll be hard to sustain us. I just need a health boost, you know, for my travels. Because who knows what's out there. Poetry, people. Lord, please, a moment of your time to hear my latest poem. This isn't the first Italian who has tried to introduce me to their poetry. Consider the road ahead is surely not the last. There must be some true infatuation with poetry here. For every other dreamer has a poem in their hearts. Visit the great city of Roma. I would like to make an attempt. I'll be a poet. This will help me as I do have some level of fame up, and an additional diplomacy is always good to have. See? There you go. At a distance, the city of Roma is a forest of towers and a maze of stone buildings. As we approach the scenery shifts, the ruins of monuments, walls, and ancient churches coexist with farms and grazing animals. As we stop before a great obelisk of the local recounts that at the top, Julius Caesar's ashes rest in a small round box. In death as in life, Caesar is elevated above all Romans. My caravan cantata adds that we should use this opportunity to learn more about the city. It's worth thinking about how fragile life is. So willing to stay for 7 days as I spent time contemplating the fragile nature of life. I'll gain stress for that, but 15% chance to gain the writing history perk. And your diplomacy skill by 1. 42% chance of contemplation, plus 1 learning and piety. Or 42% chance of existential dread, which is plus 1 spiritual and stress gain. Regardless, Kantara becomes your friend. I discuss life and death. Contemplation. This fits the description. We came across ancient ruins in Roma, which weren't the most spectacular out there, I'm sure. What are you talking about? They weren't that so large so we couldn't camp there, yet even so they were quite something to see. My entourage and I have been rather bored from the day's travel on the dreary road, so these ruins give us something to talk about, among other topics. We eagerly spectated on why the ancients built the ruins, or which ancients inhabited Romans, for that matter. What must have looked like in its heyday. There's plenty of discussion to go around. St. Peter's Basilica. This is a definite need. Cultural fascination progress plus 20. Which means that, which as a reminder, we now have these, in case you missed the previous episode. So my current fascination now is African sacred rulership, which in 24 years time, which it's doubtful he'll be around for that long, but 24 years time, we got to have primogeniture within Nobadia. There's no more partition. Up in Monte Cassino. While traveling through Cassino, can't help but I notice that every person I see works with a quiet intensity I don't often notice around them. I stopped one of the laborers and asked her about it, and she shares some needed wisdom. Well, you see, the trick is that you put your back into it, and don't stop till the job's a good one. You think a real country would talk like that? Industrious people they are. Perhaps I could apply some of these principles at home. Cliff! It is known that the people of Capua seem to profess a special devotion towards their knights and their legends. My lord, the knight says, bowing his head, it is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroad, for I am in search of a marvelous fountain, which water is said to cure all illness. Says, if you were to help me in my quest, I shall pay homage to you. Damn, we need someone like you. Join me, and forget about that foolishness. 99% chance you convince him to join. And did. Treat the man. This morning we asked for directions towards our next destination from one of the locals passing by on the road in Benevento. The locals told us that the route we were about to take was not actually the fastest way through the area, and that there was a shortcut we could take. Thankfully, the local was entirely correct and we understood the directions given to us. We saved a good amount of time traveling thanks to the shortcut. Thank goodness we learned about this shortcut. Passing through a remote village, a gathering of peasants in the distance catches my eye. Poor small crowd under a ramshackle trellis, painstakingly covered by in a variety of wildflowers, stands 3 figures: a man, a woman, and what I surmise is a local priest. Whilst the wedding is nothing out of the ordinary, the joining two souls is always seen as a momentous occasion by both common folk and nobles alike. Perhaps I should act accordingly. Let's move on. Charts and itineraries. Create travel itinerary decision, which, as a reminder, it's a decision that lets the character trade gold for an artifact. By commissioning a travel itinerary, describe the places they visit. The itinerary artifact will give different effects depending on where have you been and what choices you make. I be sure to write that because I've been a traveling man myself. So screw it! I'll get personal touch for the domain limit to go up. And holding a inspection activity will also apply the effects of local arbitration in that county. Yes. I'm willing to be an inspector. Long range bonus helps. Safer travels. And maybe, who knows, just keep it around until you get the hike activity. Alright, I'm not far removed from all this. I mean, I did want that in the first place. As we walk through the streets of Reggio Calabria, a procession of soldiers emerge from the side street. Most of them are injured and aided by downtrodden civilians. The herald proudly stands in front of the throng of people and gathering around the marketplace and declares with a loud voice, "We crushed those Nicotian dogs yet again. It's only a matter of time before victory is ours." And yet the celebratory words pales in comparison when I look at the injured soldiers and their grieving relatives. Well, you know me as a military man. Maybe they have some wisdom to share from their battles. 24% chance you insult their survivors. 63% chance you hear some stories about the battles. 8% chance you hear about the strategic blunders. 3% you hear about how the Romans fought. Heard some stories about the battles. Traversing the plains on the outskirts of Reggio Calabria, suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders out for blood. Another set of riders approached from the nearby holding, led by Marquess Maximus. I am very pleasantly surprised by the altruistic demeanor of the local Marquess. I praise God that they arrived just in time. Maximus circles back around with victorious messages. "You should join us in some Greek hospitality at Reggio Calabria." "It would be my honor." Another good shortcut. Ravine. Very low now flood. Well, it seems that our caravan has become a little lost in these foreign lands. Cantor has been trailing around in Caltanissetta for hours. Though she is at last swallowed her pride and ask her direction, she does not appear to be an expert Arabic speaker. Fortunately, I am fluent in Arabic. What the hell's going on? Another war for Darfur again. Ain't got time for you, petty squabble. Today, a self-styled poet was presented me my desire to write a large compendium of poems exalting my dynasty's feats over time. This work, if properly done, will increase the significance of the renown of my dynasty and will be looked upon with envy by everyone else. That is the promise of this nifty, at least. I'm sorry, I don't have that kind of money. I'm not patron of the arts. You know what? Just stick to the initial agreement. The amount of stewardship and diplomacy isn't good as it once was. And that's why we have to get more gold through the region. So, cross the Mediterranean into dry lands of coastal Libya, Tripolitania. The king is dead. Make me the marshal. Thank you very much. I probably won't be there for your coronation ceremonies when I'm out traveling. And you're the new culture head. Oh, wait a minute. Now I remember why I was the culture head. It's because he was incapable. I remember the old king was incapable. So he was incapable of being a culture head. So, which means, under the rulership, fortunately there'll be some setback in time. Because this man is not of the learning education, nor he would have any interest as scholar. But, thankfully, as culture head, we were able to introduce siege weaponry. And one day, there will be primogeniture for all. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, but certainly under the reign of my daughter and heir. And the sides of Cartagena, that's in Carthage, by the way, where the hot winds sculpt the sands, a soldier watchtower stands vigilant. Its keeper, an austere sentinel, greets one. Esteemed guests, the man shouts on top. Is there anything I can do for you? Perhaps you'd like to join me to gaze upon the calm of the drylands? Perhaps you could be our guide in these lands. I just spent money on this man. So, for once, I'll find him myself, and he's back. Negotiate an alliance with Crusader. It's my nephew. You got it. Now in Sardinia. Oh yes, peasant revolt over there. We'll have that dealt with, because it's over in the place that's rather unstable. Actually, we've been slowly trying to introduce Christianity over there. Coptic Christianity, to be exact. Maybe a little bit helps. I'm willing to throw some money into there. You know, there are ways to improve peasants' life. How much? 100? Lose stress because you're vengeful. Gain stress because you're vengeful. Because I wish I could give them tax breaks or anything like that. As some of the states of Rome could do wonders. Give me relaxation. Oh, that will not do. Guess we're gonna have to deal with this peasant revolt. That's gonna be localized. We'll raise it in a few months and then send an army over. Those Zoroastrians are still alive and well in this playthrough. This one's for stewardship. Fearful troops. Man-hours maintenance per dread. As I got plenty of dread, so it won't cost as much to maintain them. A altitude and brisk air of Nice has very freshy qualities to traverse the local hill fort. All good as soldiers, training below with a keen eye. The tactics are not completely foreign to me, trained in the martial arts as I am. While doing so, I'm approached by the local captain, Gerard. Would you like to join me, my lord? I'm always up for a challenge. I'm sure I'll gain stress because of patience, but I want the rough terrain expert. Having advantage in mountains will do, but it's not desert mountains, unfortunately, but every little bit helps. Just wanted to have some variety of my commander traits. Ah, Matashka, you got it. Small gains. You have to make do with them. 12. Shakanda, my great steward. Oh damn, you'll do. I didn't. No, keep the development because we're in the middle of building another building over there, which is soon going to be subjected to a peasant revolt over there. The inn we stayed at Malamaka last night was a surprisingly wonderful place. I don't know what the inn or its staff did right, but something about the inn allowed most of us to sleep through the night so peacefully. This morning there were smiles on the faces of many of my entourage as we prepared to leave. You know, that background looks familiar. So, what a wonderful place this was. Well, I've been traveling for a long time, so I found a cave in the wilderness, in the Gulf of Venice. A cave in the Gulf of Venice? Curious, I took a few steps and saw nothing but darkness. I most for one of my guards to bring a torch, and once had the light on the torch to help us see further. I realized this cave must have been very deep. A couple of bats were hanging about, observing me warily as I considered what to do. I'm feeling adventurous. Let's explore the cave. Personal touch. Domain limit +1. I will no doubt become an inspector after this. Now you're in Istria and you're entering Croatian territory. Keep at it. It's the only way to make decent money without having to haggle for it. Because skills isn't what it used to. Mystics are everywhere here at Lika. They go around preaching and sharing their knowledge. One day I get into a rather in-depth discussion about the meaning of life, with one of them waiting for a boulder to be removed from the path. Medicant mystics. What wisdom can you share with me? Mystic wisdom. What area has Medicant mystics? Ah, Bosnian culture. Medicant mystics, that's why. Wandering mystics may appear guard offering boons and criticisms. Mountaineers. Still on our way. The day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We are somewhere outside of Beograd. I close my eyes as my mount brings me forward, one solid step at a time. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carried by the breeze and not from our entourage. Is that quacking? I isolate the sound to be coming from the shrubbery on my right hand side. Follow that duck. I dismount and locate the duck in the nearby shrubbery. It starts wandering off the wilderness, and I follow by foot. Suddenly the duck stops and tilts its head in my direction, clearly confused why it's procured a human follower. I smile at the duck, trying to ease its attention, but the duck suddenly squirms, flaps its wings, and flies away. Is that a wild duck chase? Carefree, you're gonna need it, because I've been getting a lot of stress lately. I need to reduce that. Bank. Dubrovnik has Slavic figures. I'm stirred from my relaxing trip across the great blue sea by a sudden shriek. I sprint into the stores below deck, and I'm horrified to find a seagull beside the shredded remains of our supplies, its feathers stretched thin against its foul, bloated belly. In my rage, I could have killed the repugnant winged menace right there, but I'm stopped by my night act. Hark! Stay your hand, you abhorrent fop doodle! Don't you know it's bad luck to kill a bird at sea? Nothing will stop me from killing this blasted bird. Superstitious were baited. Good meal. One more month and I'll raise the troops. Although I won't be there. So someone's got to do it. He's another crowned king, and I wasn't there for the coronation. You're the man to do it. Contact Indian Ocean pirates. Alright. What do we need? Acquire booty, authorize sales, recruit Courtiers, ransom captives. Honestly, given that we still increase the size of our military a bit more and more, especially whenever we get to introduce those new siege weapons to us, because as I have the domain limit, I would like to go on the offensive. So I'd like to recruit Courtiers. With our combat experience, the pirates we work could make for skilled soldiers. So we receive anywhere between 200 to 500 special soldiers. Spend 50 gold between legitimacy and all that. There are a group of pirates active in the Indian Ocean who I have connections with, who have agreed not to target my territories and to help me when we have shared mutual interests. The military experience of these pirates are considerable, but could be valuable asset in my own forces. I decided to enter a more permanent agreement with some of these pirates, recruiting them to fight for me directly under my banner. Let's hope they prove to be reliable soldiers. Okay, so these Indian Ocean birds are 150, 150, that's 300, plus 50 more, so 350. And these are light footmen, mainly, along with levies. And also we got horn warriors, 50 of them, which are a different kind of skirmishes. I walk down the same streets as I did the last time when I was in Kappadokia. I see the same stalls, I smell the same smells, and I hear the same sounds. There is comfort in knowing some things haven't changed. This is just what I had hoped for. Wandering lifestyle experience. I returned through the Cilician Gates. You just treat the son of a bitch. It is nightfall, and a man is hard at work when we arrive at cereal fields south of Enzaribus. It appears to be flattening crops at a rapid pace, using a large flat piece of wood and heavy stones. I frown as I watch the man performing his labor, then inquire as to exactly what he's up to. He winces and then starts on a long rant on how only to wake up and meet our true masters that are hiding behind false Muslim teachings. Take a few steps by surprise. Alright. God's wounds. Commander Promoth. We stop by a town in the Beirut for a quick rest. This town is known locally for its amenities of being the center of leisure. Several guards in my entourage got distracted by the pretty local Mesriki girls. We need to go soon. Perhaps it would be a bad idea to rest some more. We ain't got time for these. A warm breeze crosses my legs as I wander through the orchards of Tiberias. The trees stretch gently towards the sky, colored by a mixture of new shoots and fruits taking shape. Suddenly a high-pitched shriek pierces the air. I quicken myself only to find a peasant child below the tree, in shambles and sobbing violently. Irritated made an attempt at climbing the tree, before slipping and falling to the ground. One of the bone pipes are protruding at a strange angle. There. As we sit by the campfire of the long day, a group of travelers approached us in the dark, abandoned knights led by the proud-looking man. Each one of the knights richer than the next. My lord, it's my pleasure to meet you. I am Marian Koda of the Order of St. Anthony. We're on a long journey to get to Jerusalem. We need some rest before the last stretch. Will you share a campfire? Get a hook on you, Courtier the Grand Master. How would you like to join us in our ranks? While traveling around Ascalon, we discovered to our horror that a number of our food supplies had gone bad. It appears earlier in our trip the food got mixed with a lot of water by accident. Now it's rather moldy. There aren't any settlers nearby, so we need to forage and hunt for some food to hold us over. This will waste time. On the other hand, we could tough it out, ration on what food we still have, and hurry to the nearest settlements. Just forge a hunt for once. Cousin got imprisoned. Traveling thinkers, we know that too well. Alright. Beat him up. All too easy. You ain't that tough. Yeah, we lost control, but we'll have that restored in no time. Hey, war's already over. The spy master introduces a nervous-looking peasant before dismissing him quickly. My lord, I've been cultivating a network of farmers, merchants, and traders who regularly cross our borders. With additional funding, I could expand this network to provide early warnings of enemy movements and strength. These con folks see much that armored scouts cannot, and their information could prove vital in positioning our force to meet the invasion. Our scouts and watchtowers are sufficient warning. It was just a peasant revolt. There's no need to... It's not a country crisis. Take it easy, man. I've noticed that Ackley avoids me more than usual. He always sits the opposite end of the table whenever we're invited to feast, and consistently refuses my company while coming. We might not have had the best relationships, but that attitude is starting to tire me. Over here defaming me. Tapara is a Telmatabil's fool. I'll be a way better Marquess than him. That term he just said. A compound Byzantine insult meaning swamp dwelling. What? You wanna know how it is? I'll show you. Win a fight against him and make him leave. Tired of you shit. It was a mistake to hire you. 3 gold. Now I'm the inspector. So +1 stewardship, long range bonus, development growth, travel safety +10. Well, looking good. So I think I would decide now, keep wandering. Pick up well prepared and storytellers so I can do hiking as well. But in actuality, I just wanted to do another one of those monument expeditions to increase the skill that I'm certainly lacking in. It's known that the Coptic people are ardent believers in the Ashari faith and do not take kindly to non-believers. Nevertheless, Armont is on a route that we must pass through. Quickly, though, the village's vengeful eyes set upon us like a wolf prowling its meal. Before we have a chance to react, local mob descends upon us with a mob of raging lunatics, fanatics, maybe both, screeching about our alleged heretical beliefs and demanding we pay atonement for passing through these holy lands. Burn these goddamn people. Now we're in familiar Nubian territory. As we pass through the camel farms of Kota, the pungent odor assaults our senses. The camels, vital as they are, produce a stench that permeates every corner. Suddenly one of our horses bolted away in the distance, seemingly terrified of the smell. Apologies, my lord, the farmer exclaims. I'll let you choose one of my finest camels to make up to your loss. I'd rather you just pay me the gold. Whew. I'll never forget that time where I had that awkward moment with a duck followed in the wilds of the Belgrade plains. Yeah. Lots to do. Let's just do some routine paperwork for once. The documents never end as Lord of the Mount. The frontier between Egypt and Nubia is carefully monitored on both sides. I and my staff have to handle all the documents in all sorts of languages, from complaints to legal disputes, requests with overly polite words. reports of my underlings. Ah, someone has to paper. With a sigh, I continue reading a document on my desk. As this says, this slave of the lofty, most glorious and magnificent presence of the Lord of the Mountain kisses the ground before him and reports to him that your letter has arrived and I have read it and I have understood what is in it. Kisses the ground part. So, this excerpt comes from a letter from a Muslim person to the epoch of Nobadia. It makes use of the obeisance formula, the slave kisses the ground, that is commonly found in these kinds of letters sent to certain officials or rulers in Egypt and Nubia. This formula obviously does not literally mean the writer is a slave of the addressee. It was a formulaic show of respect initially introduced in Egypt that reflected a development in Fatimid court protocol where someone would kiss the ground in the presence of the Fatimid Caliph. Now, what am I going to do about this? Right, that's one thing. I gotta pay homage to him. Give him gold, not some. And I'll be there as fast as I can before he does something. Make haste and cautious. All you got to do is just go, go, go. Servants ushered me to King Odanis III's great hall in Dongola, where he sits astro waiting to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge many oaths of homage, as describes the court event. My attendants then follow, presenting my rich gifts to the king before the assembled court. Odanis bids me to arise, confirm his satisfaction, along with my rights to the lands I rule in his stead. Price of fealty. Did that just to gain a renown between us, because I really want to get that dynasty legacy. That relates to maritime. Keep on converting over there. Trading posts finished. And that's all that. Does not have crop rotation, this culture. Far from it. You're tempting me to try to introduce Nubian culture over there. But not until this county is Christianized, which is a process that's going to take a while. There are more Coptics there now. Still 100% strong over there. What the hell do I petition? No need for that. I think it's about time we introduce these. Just short of its maximum size. Oh yeah, put that over there. Let's send a pikeman to be stationed over there. Meantime, send the spy master over to Cairo. What's its current strength? So I'm investing in these new siege engines and then thinking about going on the offensive against Egypt for this. Oh, Bezos, my valued spy master, came to me with serious information regarding the valuable asset of a spy network in the court of Sheikh Ali of Jaf al-Yamani that's been providing accurate information about the region's political environment. Unfortunately, my spy master was informed the support agent is now being discreetly investigated by the agents over there. And probably in a matter of months, she will be arrested, interrogated, and certain to be tortured to reveal unpalatable truths about my signer. Another agent of mine is already in place to kill the burned agent, thus securely prevented the worst to happen. Of course, given her stellar service so far, maybe I could consider a rescue mission pursued by Spy Master, but the outcome of that is far from being certain. Well, he is the master of intrigue and an honorable court servant. Do it. Try to rescue her. Fortunately, no money's to be spent there. Okay, you can stop with the development now. How much would a holy war for a single county cost? Oh, only that much piety. Yeah. The rescue of the former secret agent proceeds smoothly. At this time, she is being debriefed in a safe place. My spy master recommends a minor sum to be offered to her in recognition for her hard work and loyalty. Oh gosh, how much? It says recommends, but no, just say excellent job. They're deep in debt, but the troops isn't as much as there once was. So, the strength isn't what it was like back in those days. So they cannot have mercenaries. They're easy to beat. And a holy war against Blemia. Entered to declare war. Truce was signed. The holy war is Sitkin. Oh, you lost that one. So I guess you're in recovery, that's what's going on. So they're vulnerable. Especially from Fatimid aggression. They only have one ally, and that's within Alexandria, to prevent factionalism. That's why I'm going to use my free domain limit slot. It's going to be for there. Because of that mining settlement. More wealth for me. And for my needs. Over the last months, I've noticed my stewards been lobbying the whole council for a tentative plan that's been developing to improve my domain. And it includes areas where every one of my councils will have a say. Now that the plan's been presented, I find it to include a host of factors available that together provide a sound foundation that will help immensely in my development of my domain. And in order that all the councils eager to enter that time, I will carry a price tag to decide what to do. I refuse the whole idea, which can't afford it. Not to mention money's going elsewhere, such as... 1 second. Ha! Now we're ready. Shortly after I break fast for the day, Kantar approaches me, followed by a servant carrying a small crate. This was finally delivered this morning. Cannot wait to offer to use. Indeed, neatly packed in straw, the crate contains a boxwood column, curved lines etched to its length, each representing the sunlit hours. At one end is an engraved cap, which upon removal reveals a hollowed interior. It contains a narrow metal strip, which end serves as the gnomon and the shadow casting piece. What a clever contraption. You know, right out we could start to test the dial. Want to see how that works? Let me take a drink. We leave the city and the surrounding fields behind us, pausing only when we reach an isolated clearing. After dismounting, Kantara and I unpack my new sundial, looking at the position of the reddish sun, about to be swallowed by the approaching clouds. I surmise we're only an hour away from sunset. Will the dial concur? I place the metal braid in the groove of the lid, then gently rotate the top of the dial until the blade is aligned with the mark of today's date. Kantara then lifts up the sundial by its leather strap and lets it settle. It needs to be still, perfectly vertical. At last, I gently orient the dial towards the setting sun until the shadow of the blade is at its narrowest. A hair short of the 12th hour, I exclaimed, delighted. It works! Clapping me on the shoulder, Kantara remarks, with an hour of light left, we can make it back to town if we hasten. Though, she adds as a mischief, we so rarely nowadays have a chance to simply keep company away from our daily grind. Let me build a fire, then you can regale with me of your tales of your most recent journey. Splendid idea. Just want to get rid of the stress. Oh, good. She's feudalized the realm. Which means the temple in the town's been built. Same over in Nakis. You probably invested a lot of money to have this realm feudalized, or there must be some other thing. That's what we wanted to see. And as well as a subsequent spread of the Coptic faith in the area. If you can lower the tension, we can lower the penalties. Though this would take time. It's a hard process to convert. You just gotta wait until they're at size. You know what? Build watchtowers, given that this is a rather important place. Here we go. Like, normally I would continue with this and try to get the states for another domain limit, which is always attractive, but this could wait in the far future. So instead, we're going Eastern Patricians. Republic and vassal tax contribution plus 5%. A decision to invest in Socotra trade goods can be taken more than once in a lifetime, if you hold the county of Socotra, that is. It increases chances of getting a deal event at Dust Gold when using the Silk Road Merchant's trial option, which I didn't get some of that, too much of it. But this will make it a little more frequent. So in a couple of decades' time, no doubt, I'm gonna have these. Especially the idea of taking more than once in a lifetime is always attractive. Thanks. Ah, yes, my daughter. You're 31 years old and should have you married matrilineally. But to who is the question. Doing rather poorly. quick-minded, and you intelligent. So that's a maybe, but keep looking. Not looking to make alliances as much as find someone with someone else's skills. Should we take that penalty for the sake of marrying a genius? Do it. Want to have smart children. Oh yeah, she gets to have a dab as well, so basically the two good parts. But how do we lose the gold mine? So that's what's going to happen for this partition. So it's fortunate we were able to pick this before, you know, all that goes out. Oh yeah, you're right, I forgot. I'm not married anymore. I've been dead for a while. Need someone some wall skills. Alright, not that I plan on having any more children. Because I sorely lack in intrigue. And I need someone to help me with that. Chance of children is small, but it'll be a miracle if I have one. But I'd just rather have, you know, someone by my side to help me with such matters. For now, I suggest you start saving up your money. Build up your war chest. And we'll check up on the tooling in Egypt again before we attack them to get this. It will not look good for this, as it will remain discord. Much as I would love to do monument expeditions and all that. Oh, maybe inspect there again and give it a different reason. Legion's conflict with Bona drags on. As his martial art, plot logistics, peasants, servants, acquire local unrest, and on riders deliver grim tidings. At Massa, knights in Bakuria failed. Prince Kyrillos of Bob's battle line was broken. Our army is cast into desperate rout. Now as our warriors flee, Yahbona's host events to our kingdom. My advisors urge me to do credit to my office, grip the veins of this disaster in a gauntleted fist. Give it to him. He needs this. While my focus is I plan on starting my own war, just to have this. Because it is not the area part of Egypt. Low trade power instead of insufficient. Alright. Because of different factors at play here. That's quite an improvement. Holding management. Let me see what I could do. A hyena in Pakoros. That can wait. My councils are eager to understand my plans for personal domains, emphasize the importance of alignment of overarching strategies for the realm. What specific priorities should you focus on first, ensuring coherence with the broader objectives set for the entire realm? Alternatively, do you believe in not assigning any particular priority at this juncture? Prepare the castle and inspire garrison troops. Damn it! Disease outbreak, there goes my marshal, and the garrison size is lowered, but it's alright. I'm planning on the offensive, not defensive. So you shouldn't worry too much about that. In my old age, I'm still the best damn military leader that this realm has ever seen. Very low Nile flood, poor harvest. Oh, that's definitely taking a hit. This has been a bad year. Almost fully reinforced with the augers, and then go check one more time. Wait a few more months. No need for mercenaries. I think we could do it on our own. With our skills versus theirs. As it says, Egypt is vulnerable. And hopefully it remains the case. Unless they do some desperate acts, such as plundering, the religious holdings to gain gold. For a while now, Marius has enjoyed composing lyrical music in his free time. As of late, though, his music has become a lot more vulgar, though he doesn't disseminate it wildly. I even heard about the kind of songs he is writing. They're full of offensive, erotic, and lurid details. When Bartholomeus heard about it, he said I had to do something about the mayor's new hobby. I'll tell him to be more discreet about it. Just to be nice here. Hey. Yeah, it's still too distant. Too distant. Too distant. The only person you could do this is your own. Which, why on earth would you want to do that? Insignificant target. Too distant, so obviously those kind of raids are rare now. Encounter along the Red Sea. The Red Sea has been inhabited for centuries by both the roving bands of nomads as well as colonies from larger kingdoms. Earlier today, when traveling through a part of my realm along the Red Sea coast, we came upon what appeared to be an old structure some kind along the shore, which was a small abandoned hut or mud and reeds. Who knows whether it was built a decade ago or centuries ago. While resting there, a large party of herdsmen passed through, and they were traveling to a nearby town to trade with the local merchants and offered to exchange some of their goods with us. Let me see. Those camels you have look quite sturdy and strong. Every little bit helps for this planned offensive. Siege vulnerability. Hell's the matter of you? Still weak, and they'll be out of depth soon. Thank you. We've got the basic idea. They don't have enough money to hire mercenaries, and we can definitely beat them in a war. Bolstered frontier defenses are still there. We'll be ready to take them on. Give it another month and then we're good to go. Oh, and move the rally point to the capital for easy deployment. War begins in August. Mind you, forts are level 10. They too also had bolstered their frontier defenses. So this may take a while. And they're being pressured by war. Is it because of you? Or whatever they're doing? It's also neglected. It has seen better days. Well, let's get ready for this. And regardless of the money we make or not, we're gonna get that county, and it'll be hopefully an easy war for us. I mean, with that kind of weakness that they have, we could conquer the whole damn Egypt if we wanted to, but no, county first. And we don't have that much piety to begin with, because all that's just going to be used for this. From Jerusalem, north across the Negev. Let's move out. "46 days. Spymaster quietly places a sealed document on your table. My lord, one of my agents has uncovered our enemy's preliminary battle plans. With additional gold, I could bribe several of their commanders' servants to provide regular updates on their military movements. Knowing where they intend to position their forces will give an invaluable advantage in the coming conflict. But the information would cost you gold, but save far more in blood. How much?" You got it. This intelligence is worth every coin. Up the effectiveness, because we need to get that high level fort down! And we'll still make more gold. In the meantime, thanks to war profiteering and all that. They can bring all their friends if they'd like. We can beat them. Well prepared. And we'll pick up Storyteller so we can do hiking. Which I don't know if it's cheaper than inspection. But it's something to do in your free time. My enterprising marshal shared with me an idea he came up with regarding the improvement of my less performant knights and their retinues. It is suggested Tibor told me that he would provide intensive theoretical knowledge to the knights. Their retinues over a period of 1 month, hoping to improve their prowess. Of course, given the nature of the subject at hand, the learning skill of each knight will be tested to see how effective the training become. Now I'm faced with the decision to give the Green Knight the training, as it costs a significant amount of resources. We don't support the idea because we can't afford it. It's already been spent on military intelligence. Let's go. Let's begin the siege here. Don't engage with the enemy until later. Thank you for the reduction of men-at-arms maintenance. It's good timing. There's plenty of loot to be had up there. But it's the part of the land I want to hold personally. It'll make us rich. another damn month till we get up there. Hi. You're supposed to get us moving faster. What the hell are you doing? Okay, it'll take about a year to bring it down. So it's the best we could do. 4 levels too high for us. But as I said before, it's the best we could do with our abilities. So we just hope to get lucky with siege events like these. All I have to do is take it, hold the objective, defeat the Egyptian army. They could come from either to there or to there. They only have 2 ways of coming in, and we'll see them coming. Well, actually, the 3rd through there. Nope, they're going by sea. They're Sutkin. They're not going to take this before we do. They're just going to take a long time, whereas we'll get it down in time. As long as nothing unforeseen happens. Breach. Because when you get a breach, this reduces the next siege event. So good. We need starvation. Come on. We need a good jump at the siege progress. We're getting there. Sending more reinforcements their way. We'll get them off. They're in our turf. A fortunate siege. Fortune fills our granaries anew. Despite the enemy's efforts, our foragers uncover hidden granaries near Allaqi. Grain, livestock, and clean water pour into the camp, banishing hunger and restoring vigor to our weirdos. The armies have regained 10% of their strength. Their walls will not save them. Alright, they're going back up, all of them. And it applies to special soldiers as well. As a consequence of the current state of warfare, my realm is embroiled too. I pass a long time around of all different types of different martial characters of most of all my martial. In this time, I may be able to, if I so choose, to experience the intricacies of warfare planning and discuss the real possibility to increase my march skill. The question that remains is that if focusing on this area will not bring a penalty in other areas as well. Submersed in a martial world. Too focused. By immersing yourself in the military types in a realm, I plan of warfare this year currently in. Unfortunately, you lose touch with the matters of stewardship and learning, and present day out of touch in orbit. Fortunately, the effects are permanent. Not good. I can handle the learning, but the stewardship I cannot. We ought to get that restored. We're going to destroy this small hill fort. Knowing this thing has a habit of destroying buildings after a siege. And did. I step out of my tent, the siege camp sprawls out before me. A haphazard of cluster of muddy tits and ramshackle outbuildings. Flags and banners fly in the damp wind. Bright colors mixing hopelessly in the gray rain. Brazier smoke and guttering flames light the scene with a flickering orange glow. The soldiers sit around holding tankards of meat, relax their small talk and camaraderie. Smoke from their fires drifts and fills the air. The smell of food cooking on spits by the bonfire grows stronger. My lower retainer approaches and informs the siegers, and I gather my bodyguards and head to the edge of the camp. A Daya of Allaqi stands for me. A canyon of shattered walls. In the fields between, the dead and dying lie piled. Wounded men beg for water. Beyond, clouds of hungry flies and dust. I notice a stench of brimstone. Shocks of iris stumble around the wreckage and pull loved ones on piles of twisted bodies. Men look at me for direction. And they're spared for once because it's going to be my personal land that I get to hold. Now let's engage the enemy. Light them up. All we need to do is just beat these armies in major battles, hold on to the objective, and we'll win. And we may have to besiege another one, but the question is where? Because I'm in no mood of taking that area. Aswan has a lowered fort level. That we can handle. So we'll think about going to Aswan after this. We need another caravan master who's excellent at that thing. We need to get our army moving faster. We'll be resupplied out here. Low trade power, get good gold. Will they back off and back them up? Yep, they're gonna back them up. When will they arrive? 14 days. So we're gonna get some casualties in there. Right, we beat the bastards. So, okay. Improved prowess, 13 experience on foot. Where's the hostility trait? I got so many traits. Or you can look through here. You got the horse up. So, enemy army movement locked. We destroyed their one army, and here comes the other. Captured the son and heir of one of his vassals, and this made him mad. Emir Bashir of Alexandria decides to join the war. He's pissed. We'll get you too. We have advantage over them. We'll have them destroyed as well. Capture the Sultan himself. Alright. No need to prolong the war much further. And you don't have to go to the Swan. Now we're rich. And as well as having a connection from this realm of mine to this. Devastated by the siege, which will take 2 years for it to recover. And the development is very, very low. Okay, register. Pressured by war, which it'll go away. Devastated by siege isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Recently looted. I guess it's high time for me to go inspect. Alright. We can forget about the hyena thing. Inspection. Actually, it's holding inspection is, as far as average cost, it's just as cheap as. No, thank you. Let's make haste. Go up there. Throw some money in there. Let's get to work. It'll be in full control in 5 years' time. What other modifiers will be rid of in time? Okay, that's one. It went away, so now it'll take. It still says 5 years. As I stroll around the market of Coruscant, there's a loud ruckus coming from just a couple of stalls down from me. There's a furious man animated with his hands. "There, horse, see. What have you heard for this?" He yells at another merchant who looks possible even angry. "Love to see him try." The stall owner dismisses the merchant with his hands. Angrily turning to his bodyguards. The merchant clearly intends to get the deal one way or the other. Seems like a perfect time to make some coin. But I took being taken advantage of, so I had to pay some. I'll do it. And I also lost additional money. I have places to go to. Come on. Stop stalling. And no stone unturned. Now we have faster control growth. And with local arbitration, there's development growth and popular opinion over there. So that's good. Just a moment. So now we're getting somewhere. Now it'll take 4 years instead of 5. First thing you're going to build is these quarries. It can help reduce the building construction time just by a little. Because this is a very valuable place. So we'll invest in quarries. Now we're going to need Mayor's help soon. When this modifier expires, because it'll take an eternity and I have to get it built. Not until this goes away. As does the recently looted in 4 years' time. And neglected county. Yeah, just keep collecting taxes as it is. No need to send development to county just yet. But there is hope for it yet. As I arrive here, I'm brought to the study. A group of servants tend to all my needs and fuss around me for a while until I ask them to leave. I'm meant to focus on my task at hand if they keep running around the room. With them out of the way, I could finally start working on my plans, which is to obviously improve the bureaucracy here. Gained extra taxes. Tax evasion. I find myself yet again in conversation with some of the locals about how should I prioritize the restructuring here. Move and rebuild the old town walls, my liege. Captain Starosana of the local garrison says with a wink. Think of how much more space we would have for a new residential district. No, no. The old merchant district is in dire need of a touch-up, as a representative of local guilds cuts into the conversation. Imagine how much more lively the town will be with an active merchant district. For the next 10 years. Let's focus on the old crumbling walls here, as we are in the middle of building one of such buildings. Disappeared on me. After thoroughly scrutinizing all documents, I could finally manage to wrestle out some extra budget I could reallocate to alleviate some of the local infrastructure issues troubling the county. All need to figure out which section of the bureaucracy most need of some extra aid. Obviously, the local garrison's been struggling as of late. %30 chance improved control, 66% chance of suggested control, 2% chance decrease. And we got adjusted control. Total mercenaries, so county control up. As I travel through the streets here, I suddenly find myself facing a woman being threatened by some sort of ruffian in the middle of the day. She screams for help as she looks at me and my guards. Some mercenaries in the cities have been turning to banditry and crime to sustain themselves as of late, but I had no idea I'd gotten this bad. Do I want to step in and help this poor woman? Perhaps they're open for a job offer. Mercenary garrison, even faster control growth. $50. It looked impossible at first, but I somehow managed to find a way to start putting things right then. Okay, ending some of the local corruption and bandits. Well, it's only a first step in the right direction. It is crucial for the county's future. Now I just need to ensure to stay on the right path for the foreseeable future, as planned. Expected taxes is one thing. Control growth up. Development growth up. Inspection focus control for the next 15 years, and control level just jumps up again. Success. Now it'll be 3 years' time. Doing good work here. We just can't wait for this to be valuable one day. Your realm now possesses enough natural reserves to support your building and infrastructure inspection projects. So, either forest or mountains terrain, and this is desert mountains, and it counts as mountains. So therefore, all right, buildings are made cheaper, and it takes less time to do them. It says there ain't no forests in Nubia, but we got plenty of mountains. We wind along the outskirts of Allaqi. I see the trail of caravan camels. At this distance, excuse me, Mr. Stranger. Good evening to you, worthy friend. Come in, come in. I promise you that what I have in my stall, like Blamia or something, for more than what they say. Showcase the countless shiny trinkets before my eyes. Don't we already have one of these? Exhibit boxes? Yeah, we do. So, not interested in Bedouin trinkets at this time. I'm sorry, man. It's either you or me. You or me. damn it. If it weren't for that damn security control. Counting holder skills may increase, decrease the good event events. Well done. Let me look at my skills. See, this is why I married you. Just help me out on that. I would like to improve my stewardship. Hey. I was about to say, is the hyena still around? Or is it gone off? Hey, he's gone. I would like to improve my stewardship. Very short this, so why not go back there again? So I wanted to throw a bunch of money on that. Just want one extra skill point related to stewardship. I wanted to be having that. Because you may never know that I decided to go visit Constantinople and bring some Silk Road merchants with me. Under the moonlit light of Courtiers, I overhear an intimate chat between my daughter Agatha and my knight Hill. Oh, Agatha, my modest angel, you make these starlit nights unforgettable, confesses Cahill, Line's voice trembling. Agatha responds or something. Never expected to find someone who understands so well. Lieutenant's love is blossoming in my entourage. Such tenderness, I'll lead it to her. And you know, you've never been married yet, so I think you two will do. So, go ahead. Why don't you marry to that guy? Kiss it. Yeah. After all, we do want to spread our dynasty far and wide, in terms of living members. Navigating the wilds, no effect, because it's already still affected by my last visit. Nearing the barony of Allaqi, eager to uncover the tales this witness over the ages. The lure of ancient wisdom, hidden within the Wadi Allaqi Mining Settlement, is a irresistible call to my scholar's heart. With a joyful heart, I commence my journey through this site. You know, 1 second. You're still of that old faith? Yeah. I sometimes wish you're all Coptic again. With that holy site, you know, stewardship or level of devotion, and we Coptics don't get that. That would have been nice to have. But after all, like I was thinking of stewardship, but intrigue, however, it actually reduces mercenary hire costs. I didn't know that. You know, changed my mind. Wonder what goes on behind the scenes. I recently received word that Hada Amir, the ruler of Sukkin, has recently decided to levy extra taxes on any Hajj pilgrims who pass the city's port on its way to and from Mecca. It's not a terrible idea from a pragmatic point of view. There are very few ports considered safe and reliable for pilgrims from Africa who seek to travel across the Red Sea. It does so happen, however, that Adab, which I rule, is one of those other ports. In fact, the elites of Adab have traditionally considered Sukkot to be rival. To be fair, we ourselves have been levying extra taxes on pilgrims passing through Adab anyway, so it appears he's merely copying our cynical ploy. So we got rid of this, and El Fasha, Darfur region, the war again. Never ends, do they? Cats are everywhere around these parts. There's not a corner, nook, and cranny without a sleeping cat therein. There are even cats sleeping on rocky outcrops near the mine shaft of the Wadi Allaqi Mining Settlement. Suddenly, a sprightly kitten nested its way past my legs, almost begging me toward an alley I didn't see before. How curious. Well, my intrigue skill ain't that great. So, 39% chance the cat guides you to an interesting soul habit. 6% chance that I am mugged, but learned something. I got mugged, but learned something. Doesn't look good for my chances. At the distant corner, a grand mine emerges. Sets of all stars as I approach. As I arrive at the location, its unique character and the sense of history it exudes are immediately apparent. It stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of this land. And each aspect of this place tells a story waiting to be discovered. Time to make some notes. Get your miniature Wadi Allaqi Mining Settlement here. Bender's voice echoes across the marketplace. Upon closer inspection, I noticed the clay trinkets to be of remarkable quality. Everything is there, down to the tiniest detail. It's honestly believably good. Made it by hand, my lord. Would you like to purchase one? Show me how you made them. 45% chance. Do you desire companionship, my lord? A man whispers seductively, running across his copious countries. No matter your desire. I'm sure to please, he continues softly. I can relax your body with warm oils, or pleasure your mind by reading East of Indus, if your desires are more carnal, and I could be yours for the night. Bisexual, that explains it. Just this once. I desire company, in the form of conversation. As he lived near the Wadi and he's done most of his life, he must have a lot to tell me. 60% chance. Time's come to pack my things and head back home. I wandered the grounds of the mining settlement and seen many sights, made notes and drawings made with the local Bedouins. I do not believe I'll forget this journey anytime soon. Farewell, mining settlements. Farewell, beautiful Allaqi. I forgot I learned here. I didn't get the further skill points, but your intrigue increased by 1. Every little bit helps. Just travel the caravan. I got nothing to spare. Alright. Let's just relax now. Let time tick along. Let control be restored slowly but surely. And soon, great wealth is going to come out of these, come out of this mining settlement. Sooner or later. Start to realize how much King Dennis and I have in common. How dependable he's proven himself to be during his last few months. We ought to spend more time together. The Sharism has just replaced most of it. Yeah, it took longer than I would have liked, but you get the idea. "25 years. will have primogeniture. Now, as storyteller, you can get to go hiking. Which, let me show you, I'm not going to actually do it, but to go on a hike, the most ideal place would be out in these here mountains with no holdings. It's the most ideal place to do it. Short hike doesn't cost more, but it'll be more longer, more opportunities. There's fewer opportunities here. So yeah, it's considerably cheaper than inspection if you decide to invest in, bring some people along. And you could do recreation, storyteller, or befriend someone of your traveling companion. Unless you want to go by yourself. So it's something just to have. And plus, that's in case if your character has melancholy, and it's a great way to get rid of it. No longer my tutor. You got Kushtik. Oh hell, where did they get that size? I overheard two of my servants having an animated conversation. They were complaining about another servant of mine who was known of rather cruel nature, towards some other servants, and she also bullies them. It's no secret that many of my servants detest this one. If she were only kinder, the taller servant says, shaking his head. Did she never learn how to be kind? When I still wonder what she's even capable of feeling. The short stout servant says, crossing arms. Unless we can't do anything, because she serves our lord loyally and competently without fail. What can we do? I should lecture the servant on being kinder to others. Because we lack piety these days. I wonder what it'd be like if we decided to get rid of them for good. Split them into two. And make the idea of forming the Empire of Nubia into a possible reality. But to do that, there's that major decision. Unite the Nubian thrones. Absolute crown authority and complete control of Mercuria and Alodia. So not necessarily, Blemia to be involved. But you get the idea. But man, they got huge. Most of it is just levies. Conversion fervor. We'll end this episode soon. So I'm pretty happy with, the domain I hold, even though it's a bit snaky to get around one place or the other. Even if I don't have you as direct vassal, but this would have to get you in some way. That would just require vassalization. Last fortnight, but affected with such pounding migraines. When they hit, my vision seemed to shrink. All sight and light winnowing me out, there's just a small corner of the world left to me. Forever at the edge of focus and underscored by a wellspring of pain. Saint Samuel clearly finds my suffering amusing, for the attacks are alarmingly regular. Ah, my head. Perhaps should take it easy. Ill. That's what it led to. Hopefully it doesn't turn anything worse. Yet to have a child, that could be an issue. potentially. But I'm all better. There's much more work to be done. Oh, how dare you. You know, I was getting ready to settle down and shit, but no. I will not accept those enemies in my property. Raise them up. Just give me those men at arms. We don't need the rest of the levies. Come on, come on. You know, we're a bit outnumbered. But again, they largely have levies and they got plenty of these Sheltered Eye and Horn Warriors. And plenty of good fighting men. Right, the latest work of my brother, Mutashka, has become all the rage of Compatibility. The pace deals with memory of what we leave behind. Mutashka has publicly dedicated it to me. The memorial of the Marquis. What man does not hope to rest when tired? In glorious memory, with hearts desired? This rare enough man to admit, for all they leave behind is shit. So far, I kid my thoughts to myself, but the pauses grow too dramatic to ignore much longer. I don't know how I'd feel about this, but let me tell you right now. Get them! Stop them from looting. Be there in 34 days. That means they are going to loot this place in time. Unless we scare them off, but it's unlikely. Yes, they have more soldiers, but I'm a better commander. Well, our number of our knights, their skills, could be left a lot to be desired. If we beat them, we get the loot back. Even though it was originally from one of my vassals, but I'll get to have it for myself if we beat him. Advantage goes to me. We got him. We got the loot. Even it wasn't my money, but it's mine now. The battlefield echoes with cries of the wounded as you survey the carnage. Victory is ours, Marquis. Marshal Tibur declares proudly. Malik Kub of Blemia has fled with his guard, but hundreds of their warriors are scattered in disarray. You recall the burning villages and suffering of your people. These raiders showed no mercy. They run like cowards when they hear Commander Spitz. Give the order, and we shall ride them down before sunset. Your soldiers wait eagerly, bloodied weapons in hand, for your command how to deal with these fleeing raiders. How will you answer the wounds inflicted upon your realm? Well, I'm a vengeful man. Don't need North gold. Our income's very good. So I say, pursue and kill every last one. Let none survive. Yeah. That's the way to end the episode right there. Yeah. Past 7 days. So, hope you people have enjoyed this episode as, well, I don't know what the next remainder of the episode is going to be. Other than, well, continue the conversion. So now it's starting to turn our way with the spread of Coptic Christianity in this land. As it's been an ongoing process for some time. But also in a year's time, prosperity is about to come in from this mining settlement, and these stone quarries are going to be built faster, especially when I send my stewardship to do so. Given that I'm in fine health, so it's likely I would just settle down a bit and focus on my domain and to do all these tasks. All that and more. So we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.